Okay, so I just wanted to record some Money in the Bank thoughts. I would do it anyway. I was going to do it tomorrow because usually Tuesday's my wrestling day here on CM42 TV. But since I posted that Undertaker video yesterday, and since the pay-per-view was last night, I thought I'd do some quick thoughts just now. I'm rewatching the ladder match from last night, rewatching the actual Money in the Bank match. Which was a lot of fun, just like as expected. You know, I kind of mentioned that this past Tuesday when I did my predictions. I said it's going to be full of tomfoolery and full of nonsense, and it was. Watching this back now, I'm enjoying it a little bit more now than I did the first time. I think the first time because I was like, I had no idea what to expect really, and now I kind of know where it's going. I'm kind of enjoying it more the second time. But in terms of watching it right now, Asuka's just won the women's one. Otis is doing the worm, but it's called the caterpillar, innit? Oh yeah! And of course, not to spoil anything, but Otis is Mr. Money in the Bank. There's Aleister Black with the black mask. It's strange. Aleister Black is the most out of place one in this match because he's so serious and his character's so badass and kind of like evil. It was a bit silly seeing him getting involved and all that stuff. Watching this part last night when they're all kind of in the ring now, and after Asuka had won, you know, the women's one, and now they're all trying to get the men's one. At the time I was thinking I would have loved the whole pay-per-view to be up there because it looks so cool. Like it's like no wrestling show ever looks like this. Do you know what I mean? With like trees surrounding them and stuff like that. It must have been pretty cold. I'm assuming this is the middle of the night at like 2 in the morning or something after they filmed all the stuff inside. I guess they could have done that early evening, do you know what I mean? But and it is kind of scary, the thought. Here comes the death of Rey Mysterio. Corbin threw Rey off the roof, and then Aleister Black as well. I guess people are looking a lot into this, thinking that Rey Mysterio's retiring now. Apparently, Rey isn't going anywhere. Don't know why he done it to Aleister Black as well. Why didn't he just do that to everybody if he could do it to those two? What was I saying? Yeah, they should do the whole show up there. It looks kind of like vulnerable and stuff, knowing they're so high up. You know, like seeing the traffic on the motorway below, and the lights of all like the cars and stuff like that. It's just like, it's quite scary. Then they're on top of a ladder, and I actually forgot after all the stuff that was going on inside the building, when they got to the ring, I forgot that it is actually a ladder match. And I liked how they still made it a ladder match. They still had like the sort of hope spots and that sort of thing. Like right now, AJ is on the ladder and Otis is trying to pull him off, that sort of thing. You know, it was a lot of fun. There wasn't quite as many over the top references and cameos and that I was expecting, but then I was thinking, well, you know, it's probably, you know, it's really filmed one night. People were still in quarantine, you know what I mean? It was only really people that either live in that area or that were maybe at the venue. So like Bruce was there, his brother Love, well, you know. Heyman was there, of course. John Laurinaitis showed up. Vince, that was a good moment. That was my favourite moment when they broke into Vince's office and Vince used the hand sanitizer. I was just waiting on him to quote something, but he never did it. Just told him to get out, and that was really funny when they rearranged the furniture. That got me howling a lot. Favourite moment of the women's match was Asuka. Not only did she start on the balcony, but when she cross-bodied like everybody from the top of the balcony, then she did like a sort of dance thing into the lift. She's brilliant. I'm so happy she won. I did not expect both winners, by the way. Asuka and Otis, both total shockers. Fair play to them for keeping it unpredictable. You know, I thought it was going to be AJ and Nia Jax, the two obvious winners, and it wasn't at all. It was Asuka, someone that the fans love. This finish is a bit, I'm not sure about this finish. Corbin and AJ both get the briefcase, and then Elias hits Corbin with the guitar. AJ, for some reason, can't hold on to it. And Otis just catches the briefcase. What I will say about Michael Cole, that's strange seeing him with the briefcase. What I will say, Michael Cole, listen. I know it was recorded in post, right, and he's probably just in a studio doing this, but he sounds so bored and tired. Definitely a huge moment in the career of Asuka. She is Miss Money in the Bank. Oh, and here comes Elias. Like, it's a massive moment. It's one of the biggest moments of the whole year. Whoever wins Money in the Bank. Now, Otis I find, listen,
Oscar on your left, Otis on your right, Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. Thank you for joining us.
Doesn't sound very excited.
For this unique pay-per-view event. Up next.
So I like Otis, you know, I think he's very entertaining, he's very funny, and I really enjoy his stuff. The stuff with Mandy and Ziggler and Sonya Deville and that sort of thing has been good. At first I wasn't a fan of Heavy Machinery, but him as a character, I kind of feel bad for his partner, but him and his characters really come around, and I just don't I just don't see him as a main eventer. I don't see him as a world champion, but of course that'll come in time. I don't expect him to cash in straight away, and if he does cash in, I don't expect him to win the title, if I'm honest. It could be a cash in on Strowman and Strowman beats him or whatever. If he cashes in on Drew and he beats Drew, I will boycott. I'll be that guy on Twitter that's like, I'm cancelling the network. Just don't see him at that stage yet, I guess. But that will come obviously over time, and you know, it's nice to see that like it's actually something that the fans sort of like. The fans love him. He always gets these big reactions, whether he was getting these big reactions. But he gets a lot of chat on social media, and a lot of people like him. And I like the fact they went with that. You know, maybe it's a sort of thing like the mentality behind this is we're trying to give the fans as much joy as possible because we're in such a troublesome time. And if that's the case, if that's the thinking, that's absolutely fine. Asuka's a fan favourite and Otis is a fan favourite. Why not put them over? That's fine. But I just think even Daniel Bryan, Corbin, I think everybody in that match, you know, had a better chance of winning than him. And they all all the other guys, Alistair, Corbin, Ray, Daniel Bryan, AJ, they're all like, you could believe them as champion, but Otis not at all. In terms of the women's one, it was like Baszler or Nia Jax were winning it. The fact Asuka won was really cool. It was never going to be Kamala for a third time. It was never going to be Dana Brooke. It was never going to be Lacey Evans. However, I will say I wasn't a fan of Lacey Evans at first. I'm totally coming round to her. I'm really liking her now. So that's good. Building on the character, building on the performer, making me care as the fan, you know. So yeah, a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Ray and Aleister Black in terms of them being deed. And on Raw tonight, it'll be really interesting. And wonder if they'll cash in, if Asuka will cash in or whatever. But I guess if you're watching this after Raw, you will know that. In terms of the rest of the show, rest of the show was good for what it was. These pay-per-views where they're like focusing more on the in-ring action than the TV shows. The TV shows seem to be quite sort of like filled with lots of interviews and promos and that sort of thing to kind of get around the no audience, and that's fine. But the pay-per-views like WrestleMania was really like the matches were long and they were good and they were like the actual wrestling in the ring was quality. And much like this show, I thought the tag match at the start was a lot of fun, really a lot of fun. I thought Bayley and Tamina, I said on Tuesday, I can't believe Tamina's in a title match. She's the most boring wrestler ever. She had a really good match. Maybe not a really good match, but she had a good match. And I guess that's down to Bayley as well. But it was definitely her best match ever in terms of Tamina. So that was fine. Then you had Bobby Lashley randomly squashing R-Truth. I'm hoping for some form of, maybe not stable, but maybe have MVP managing Lashley. I think that's like money right there. The Beatdown Clan. Samoa Joe's going to be there too. And we just need Loki and Kenny King. And that's the Beatdown Clan from TNA 2015. But it'd be really, I think Lashley is an absolute believable main eventer. I have no issue with him being pushed. I thought he was really good with Leo Rush. I thought Leo Rush was a great pairing with him. And obviously they just didn't like Leo Rush a lot, the management and that sort of thing. So they took him out of the situation. Good wrestler, Leo Rush. And you know, they could easily put MVP in there. MVP's, you know, talented. He's great on the mic. He's experienced. He's obviously slowing down in terms of in-ring stuff. So put MVP with Lashley. So that was good. And then we had Bray and Braun. Quite a weird match. It's weird seeing the Bray Wyatt character wrestle now. And they can just lose easily. And even Strowman, I've never been the biggest Strowman guy. But it's nice to see him like, you know, as the champion and being a world champion that he kind of deserves to be and should be in terms of his, you know, size and stature and how over he was before. I like the stuff with the Black Sheep, but I guess it didn't really tick all my boxes, but it was good. It was fine. Then Drew and Seth for the WWE title. They had a great match. They had the match of the night by far. One of the best matches of the entire year, actually, in terms of WWE. But I guess that's going to get, once the audiences are back and we're, you know, back to having normal great matches in front of an audience, no one's going to think about this one. A lot of the WrestleMania matches that were in front of no fans were really good too, but they're not going to get looked at either. The only ones from WrestleMania that's going to get looked at as match of the years are going to be, you know, Boneyard match, Firefly Funhouse match, and maybe even Edge and Orton because it was so different. In terms of Charlotte and Rhea Ripley should be in there for best match of the year, but it might get, you know, a good shout because it was NXT and it was the first match on night 2. But in terms of like when we look back at the end of the year, this might end up being quite forgettable considering the fact the main event was so unique, you know. But Drew and Seth had an incredible match, really, really good. Drew McIntyre, man, I know I go on about him all the time because he's my man, but you know, a WWE champion, a believable WWE champion, should carry himself as a main eventer, feel like a big match player, have impeccable timing, have people really actually like him, and be really good in the ring. And Drew McIntyre is all 5 of those things. He's superb, he's great, and Seth's great too, obviously. And they had a great match, really, really, really good match. And that would have been a match of the year contender if there was an audience present. But yeah, really enjoyed the show. Nothing over the top, no pun intended. Nothing too, you know, blow away. But really enjoyable to say the least, you know. And I like the stuff with AJ and Taker, by the way. When AJ kind of saw the picture of Taker on the wall when the music started playing, that was cool. But I definitely recommend checking the show out. It's less than 2.5 hours for a pay-per-view. That's rare, that's golden, and that's really easy to watch. So yeah, and of course check out The Undertaker Chapter 1 special, the docu-series, and then check back here on CM42 TV as I posted my thoughts yesterday after watching it for the first time. Still kind of in awe. I might actually go watch it right now before I start a wee meeting at 8 o'clock tonight. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'm having a wee bit of an issue with my editing software and that sort of thing because of these hard times. But I'm doing the best I can, so I'll hopefully be back tomorrow. I'll do the Family Guy video tomorrow if I can get things fixed and that sort of thing. So yep, check back soon. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go enjoy Money in the Bank, and I'll see you all next time.